Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg McCloskey from ForexLive.com. Today's date is October 3rd, 2023. This is the Morning Forex Technical Report. Actually, it's a Kickstart report where I take a look at three of the major currency pairs, the Euro versus US dollar, the dollar versus yen, and the sterling versus US dollar, and kickstart your trading day. Let's start by looking at the Euro versus US dollar. I'm looking at the daily chart. The move up from the September low. If we go back here to this date this period right here to the high that we saw in July, the 38.2% retracement of that move came in at 1.06106, and last week the price fell below that level, came up, tested, and then rotated back to the downside. The other key level on this chart is this swing area that we've been looking at, and all these different swing lows through here form the floor for this currency pair way back here. And then we returned to that level in trading last week and held support right here near the low of it, near 104.83, bounced back higher, came up, tested the 38.2% retracement, rotated to the downside. In yesterday's trade, what did we do? We fell below and we closed below that 104.83 level. And in trading here today, you can see the price action has been very modest here, but with the price re-entering into that area briefly and rotating back to the downside. Now let's take a look at the hourly chart next. And here is the 83 level that's the low of that swing area, but we also have this other swing area through here defined up to 104.96. It goes back in time, but believe me, and the price entered into that swing area, as you can see, and rotated back to the downside. We also moved back above the low price from last week's trading, but the momentum just kind of faded, and we were back below the 83 level, which is the most important thing. If we're able to stay below that 83 level now, the sellers will remain in control, and we look for further selling pressure in this currency pair. By the way, at the low price here today, this old trend line here, we went and tested the underside of that trend line. Consider it something. But the price did find some support buyers against the low of that trend line at this point. Of course, it's moving lower as time goes by. So it is probably down around this 48 level now for the euro versus US dollar. But below the 83 level is more bearish for the euro versus US dollar today. Keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen, and as yields continue to move higher. By the way, the 10-year yield is currently up 4.3 basis points at the highest level in I think 16 or 17 years, and that is continuing to push the dollar yen to the upside. One of the things that the dollar yen does is react to interest rates, tends to do that versus some of the other currency pairs. So we are seeing the continued move to the upside here. We are getting a little bit hesitant in those moves, in that we see lots of up and down price action. Today we had a corrective move to the downside, but then it has rotated over the last 5 or 6 hours back higher and trading to new highs as yields move higher. 149.97, that's just below the 150 target that we've been looking for in this currency pair. Get above the 150 level and opens the door. If I go to the daily chart and look at it, one thing that is of significance here is that the price did hold support against this trend line right through here in trading last Friday and pushed back to the upside. We are above these highs right here, and actually above the highs from last week, I should say. This is a high from last week at 149.68. Stay above that level is more bullish, or keeps the buyers just more firmly in control. There isn't a lot going on until this high right here, this high of the trend line here that cuts across at 150.77. So get above 150, and we start to look toward sort of almost the 150.75 level, and then the high price right here was a multi-decade high. This goes back to October of 2022, 151.93. So we're sort of at rarefied air up here for the dollar versus yen. But the price keeps on marching higher. Again, if we were to go back to the hourly chart, where things might start to unwind. I know today we went below this old high right here. We should have gone lower, but we didn't. So that's led to this move back to the upside. But I would earmark this area at 149.70 as a level that if we go below, that would be a bit problematic. And then I'll look toward the 100-hour moving average. Ultimately, folks, if the price can't get and stay below these levels, are the buyers winning or the sellers winning? No, the buyers are still winning. So be aware of these levels right through here. The 100-hour moving average also corresponds with this swing area through here between the 149.47 and 149.50 level. The 100-hour moving average is 149.50.6. Let's look at the sterling versus U.S. dollar next. And this currency pair is also trending more to the downside. You can see over time this currency pair has been down. So there's not much in the way of any sort of retracement in this pair. I might put a Fibonacci retracement from this high right here to the low. This is the most recent high to this low, and 38.2 comes in at 121.35. It's been pretty steady selling here. We need to get above that level. Also need to get above the low price from last week's trade, 121.109, in order to give the buyers some more added comfort in addition to the 100-hour moving average, which we typically do as well. So getting above this level, and this level are all targets that would show that the buyers are finally winning, taking back more control. Until then, the sellers are more in control in the sterling versus U.S. dollar. What does this look like on the daily chart? And what is somewhat significant is that the price fell below the 38.2% retracement of the move up from the low price that we saw in September of 2022 to the high price that we saw in July of this year. And that 38.2 comes in at 127.63. Keep that level in mind in trading here today in the short term. If we can stay below that level, let's say on any sort of corrective move to the upside, we're currently trading at 69, so we're just 7 or so pips away from that level. If we can keep a lid on that, then it just opens the door for further downside momentum for the sterling versus U.S. dollar. As I've mentioned before, if the price can't get below the 38.2% retracement of a trend type move and stay below that level, it's just a sort of plain vanilla correction. So this is kind of a key day for us in the sterling versus U.S. dollar to prove that the sellers mean business. So watch 1.20763 as a level of importance in trading here today. Let's look at the three major currency pairs. My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.